I travelled across Great Britain to test out my Seestar S50. My name is Jane, I'm a beginner astronomer sharing my journey right here on YouTube. I started out on the 31st of December 2025, which led me here to today, which is the 28th of February 2026. So yeah, after only 2 months of observing, it's safe to say I've definitely got a new addiction. That being said, we had a trip planned to go visit family, which meant travelling all the way from West Wales over to the east side of England, which is pretty much the entire country, and carrying a £500 telescope as luggage was definitely a daunting thought. We began our journey by train, and after just about 3 hours, we arrived in Cardiff City. Now unfortunately, we wasn't actually able to use the Seestar at all because it decided to rain pretty much the entire time we were there, but we did get to see some other cool things.
1, 2, 3, let's go! To give respect to humanity.
After all that, we began our journey to Cambridge, well, a town just outside of Cambridge, which will be left unnamed for personal reasons, but it is one of the many low bottle zones around in the area, which can go to as low as a bottle 3, which for my area, it can range anything from a bottle 3 to a bottle 6, depending on what's going on in my local town. And now looking at the weather before I left to do this visit, there was maybe one clear night that was guaranteed, but it turns out I was very, very wrong. As it happened, basically every single night I was there, it was a clear sky, and I was able to observe near enough every single night, which of course gave me the perfect opportunity to get used to my Seestar and really put it to the test. Now I know there are a lot of reviews for the Seestar S50 here on YouTube, but not many of them have come from a genuine beginner who has literally only just got into the hobby and had absolutely nothing to do with it before getting into it, and that's why I'm here making this video for you today. Now for my first night I was still pretty excited to use my telescope as it was still one of my first times, and I'm not gonna lie, I still wasn't over the beginner excitement, if you know what I mean. That being said, I did manage to get some really good shots of the birds and cigar galaxy, as well as my first ever shot of the moon with the Seestar S50. But day 2 is where things really ramped up. On day 2 I spent a little bit of time researching how to stack videos of the moon, and I learned by clicking the RAW option and then recording the video in RAW will allow you to stack the videos of the moon straight from the S50 itself. I did also learn the brutal lesson that I didn't like stacking videos that were over 4 minutes long. Here's an example of a picture that I took from a video that was 10 minutes long, and it took over 3 hours processing and produced this image. As you can see, there's a lot of blur. It did get some of the moon there, and it did do a real good job on where it did do a good job, but I don't know what happened. I think it might have just rotated, I don't know. But what I do know is that it does like the 3-minute videos, and it stacks those incredibly well, and these are probably the best images that I've ever taken of the moon. I did also capture my longest ever capture of the M42 Orion's Nebula, which I took for 30 minutes at 20-second exposures, and this was the final image that I produced. This is the raw image, and now this is the edited image. On day 3 I decided to lock in and catch at least 3 really good shots with at least 30 minutes worth of capture time. And I did. Of course, first up I captured the moon, which I only done a 3-minute video stack of, and I do believe all the information for it is... I do believe all the information for it is in the image here. And then once I was done with the moon, I decided to target the Horsehead and the Flame Nebula located in the Orion's belt. Now I didn't realise that I had the light pollution filter on, so it did come out a little bit red tinged, but I still think it's a pretty good image nonetheless. And then I went over and I captured the Leo triplets because it's an iconic picture and everybody loves a hamburger galaxy. And last but certainly not least, I went over and I captured the Pleiades as a mosaic image. And which for a mosaic image, it did come out pretty good, but there was one slight problem. Dew. That's right, my telescope got all condensated up as I foolishly forgot to turn on the anti-dew heater. But luckily enough, it survived to carry on into day 4. Day 4 was a bit of a chill day for me as I already overachieved my previous goals, and we also went to go visit the most cutest lambs and goats that there was in existence. Oh, and also this horrendous pig. I did have another clear sky for the 4th night running, so I tried to unlock the Sirius Warrior badge on the Astronomy app. I think I'm saying that right. It's basically Instagram for the astrophotographers, and it's also built into the Seestar app, so it's pretty cool. Anyways, I took multiple attempts at trying to capture Sirius B, which is located right next to Sirius A, and I spent just about an hour messing around with all the settings, and then I come to the conclusion that 2-second exposures was probably for the best for this one. So after about 20 minutes of shooting with 2 seconds exposures, this was my final image, and I do believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty certain that that little white dot with that arrow next to it is Sirius B. Unfortunately they didn't give me the badge for it though, because they said the image wasn't clear enough, so guess I lost that one. For the record, I did also capture the moon again, and I also captured the Crab Nebula and the stacked image of Jupiter. Finally on to day 5, and this was unfortunately the last clear sky that I got, so I decided to target the Rosette Nebula, which I spent a total of 30 minutes capturing with 20-second exposures, which produced this absolutely amazing result. Here is a raw image, and here is my final edit on it. And then I looked up and I noticed the Big Dipper was right above my head, so I decided to capture the Owl Nebula, which I got surprisingly well considering I only spent 10 minutes of 20-second exposures capturing this one. And then last but certainly not least, I decided to target the M106 galaxy, which is located just away from the Big Dipper's handle. Now this galaxy is about 25 million light years away, and I think this is probably the best galaxy picture that I've captured so far. Here is a raw image, and here is my final edited image. Now unfortunately my trip has come to an end, and I have to travel all the way back to the other side of Wales with my Seestar S50 without getting it damaged. Which went okay. I mean, it was in a shockproof case the entire time, inside of a suitcase as well, so what could go wrong? Plus, I tested it out this morning and everything still works okay, and here's a picture of the sun that I caught. Anyway, thank you all for watching and hearing about my little journey that I've had over the past couple of days, and if you want to see more content, then be sure to just drop a follow and maybe even a like if you're feeling generous, because I will be taking the Seestar over to one of the darkest places in Wales soon for a video and showing you guys what I can see. Anyways, bye for now.